my voice started sounding as if I was catching a cold. And this was on a Saturday, and I was talking to my oldest sister. And she said, Margaret, what's wrong with you? You got a cold? I said, no. I said, I'm fine. She said, it's something. She said, you better go to the doctor. So she called my son and my daughter, and I was going to work. I worked at the daycare for 22 years. I would be at work from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, and I was fine. And this was on a Saturday, so I continued through Sunday, my everyday routine, up, doing what I want to do. And so when Monday came, I had transportation, a guy that comes to pick me up. I got up from work 5 o'clock every morning, and he picked me up about 5:30. So it was Monday. He was out there to pick me up, and I was walking as normal. And when I went down the steps and got to the van to get in, I noticed that I had to use more strength than I normally would to get in the van. So I continued. I got in the van, continued to conversate with the driver. He was saying, you got a cold because my voice was changing. And me being me, I said, no, I'm fine. It's probably just my sinus draining. And continued, went on to the daycare. And I got out, went inside the daycare. And every morning I called my supervisor. So I called her and she said, Miss Brown, are you okay? I said, I'm fine. She said, what's wrong with your voice? You got a cold? I said, no. I said, nothing. I said, I'm fine. It's probably my sinus draining. It's been like this through the weekend. And then she said, it sounds like something is wrong. Do you need to go home? I said, no. I said, I'm fine, Miss Sims. So I continued on doing my routine. And I went back towards the dining room area, and I noticed my left leg. I was just start dragging my left leg. So I came back to the phone and called her back. And I said, well, Miss Sims, maybe I need to go to the doctor. Because now when I walked to the dining room area, I was noticing that I was dragging my left leg. And she said, oh yeah, she said, we need to get you out of there. So she came, asked that I want to do 911 or she come and take me. I said, you can come and take me. And then she came in, I went to Atlanta's Medical Center up on Cleveland Avenue, and they took me right in, and they did MRI, and they showed that I had a stroke. And they thought it was, at first it said a TIA, the little mini stroke. So they looked further and it was the stroke. And then they transported me to Atlanta Medical on Boulevard. So I was there, I probably was there for maybe about 2 months, almost 3 months in the hospital. And I was in the rehabilitation center there on the 4th floor. And so I was always able, it didn't affect my right side. It affected my left side. So I always had movement in my right side, and then I started getting movement in my left side. Yes. And so, and everything. But that wasn't no sign to me. And the doctor said I probably had the stroke. He can't guarantee that's when it happened, but I probably had it over the weekend. And so, but I would do my regular routine. I lived with my daughter and her husband and the grandchildren. So I didn't have no pain, and nothing whatsoever. I never had, if I hadn't went to the hospital, I wouldn't have known I had a stroke because there's no signs of it. It just came, there's no signs. Like some people, they could see that, numbness and all. But see, I didn't have any numbness. I didn't have any pain. I just noticed, when I walked and I dragged my legs, left leg started dragging. But what? That's no sign of having a stroke. It's many things why you drag your left leg. So if that had happened, I wouldn't have known that was, I'm having a stroke, I need to go. So happy I was there at work, and and other people noticed what I didn't notice. And that's when I went to the hospital, that's what they said it was. And this was in 2018. And the more I think about it, it's the stress is a silent killer. And for 22 years, I did this non-stop. Out of 22 years, I probably missed one day off of work. Never, 22 years, I never called in for work. Never called in. For 22 years, the only time I stayed off was if the daycare center was closed. When I get to work, I never had to leave early. And then when I had a doctor's appointment, my doctor's appointment might be at 10, but I still went there to open the daycare up at 6. And then I leave for work. Then after I leave the doctor, I go back to work. Like I was first one to leave, and first one there, and last one to leave. And I did it for 22 years. God give us a sign of all the time. You know, you were there for 22 years, although I was there in the morning time alone with the children. And you know, he was giving me signs, but I just wasn't noticing the signs. That you know, you need to lower it down. That's too much. You only one person, but you're doing 10 and 20 people's jobs, and that would do it. But no, in my mind, this is my job. These kids, I'm here for these kids. That's why he put me here for these kids. He put me there for the kids, but he also gave me common sense. You need to know when to stop and when to slow down. But see, I didn't do that for 22 years. Non-stop. And so until he decided, okay, she don't hear me, so you know, I'm gonna have to settle down myself. Yes. So you know, and even after that, I went back to the daycare, and I was going, you know, in my wheelchair until my supervisor no longer wanted the wheelchair in the daycare. So when that happened, then it was time for me to get a piece of paper and I'll resign. I resigned. I said, cause you know, 22 years, I gave all this, and then you telling me this is the way that I have to get around. And you were telling me that you don't want the wheelchair there. It was not time for me.